Hello friends, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead here. Oh, it has been a crazy few weeks. So we have done some stuff with a farmer's market. We have been selling plants left and right because we had way too many in the greenhouse, but my greenhouse still overfloweth. Time to get some tomatoes in the ground. Stuff is growing absolutely amazing here in the greenhouse. Tomatoes have gotten thinned out a little bit, and we've sold some peppers and tomato plants, zucchini, yellow squash, cucumbers at a farmer's market, local farmer's market here in New Haven, Michigan. Let me show you how our Saturday morning went as we prepared for the farmer's market. It's just a little after 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning. We're out here getting ready for our second Saturday at the New Haven Farmers Market. So the decision to participate in a farmers market came after I grew way too many plants this year, but also because we're just really excited to share our love of gardening and homesteading with the community. So what we're going to be taking today is about 60 tomato plants, some yellow squash, peppers, cucumbers, Cherokee tan pumpkin plants, some various herbs. And we're also going to be taking some radishes and some Swiss chard that we have grown here in the greenhouse. So I got to get busy getting this harvested so that we can get it packaged up and ready to go. So along with the Swiss chard, we've also got fresh radishes and radish greens that are going to the farmer's market. Caleb's out here. He's going to give me a hand. We got to get all the tomatoes and peppers and squash and stuff loaded up into the trailer. We've converted some panels on the bunny trailer to use for transporting these plants. I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, so the trouble came when how do you transport solo cups full of plants somewhere in a vehicle without them tipping over? So this is what we came up with. We're using our boxes that we built for transporting rabbits, and we took some 4-inch by 2-inch wire fence, and we just spread it and then suspended it about 4 inches over the base of the trailer here. So what this gives us is a very secure way to transport the plants. Now they're still going to experience some bumping and some sliding a little bit in the trailer. I just have to drive a little bit more carefully, but this is what we can do in order to get these plants to market and get them there safely. Now it's time to get the plants loaded in the trailer. It's time to get these loaded in the trailer. Let me show you how this is going to look. All right. Okay, there we are. We have peppers and squash and about 10 different varieties of tomatoes in the trailer, ready to rock and roll. So while Caleb and I were outside loading the trailer and getting things ready to go outside, Shelly was inside diligently working, making sure that we had some nicely bunched radishes, Swiss chard, and radish greens. We don't have a lot to sell this week, but we're pretty excited that we have some kind of produce to offer at our farmer's market stand. All right, we are on our way. Everything is loaded up and we are rocking and rolling on our way to the town of New Haven. It's only about 15 minutes away, so it's not bad. Next stop, Tim Hortons I gotta get coffee. Didn't have time to make my own this morning.
Heck
Woo!
yeah.
Crazy morning. Ready for some coffee, Caleb?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Oh, rabbits. They don't like being in the car sometimes. I was like, what's that noise? Good morning. So we made it to the New Haven Downtown Farmers Market at Haven Place, which is a wonderful ministry here in downtown New Haven. They work with families, youth, children of all ages. So we're gonna get the trailer dropped, get set up. We'll see you guys in a few. Okay, here's our booth all set up. We have bunnies for petting. We have coffee for drinking. There is the Swiss chard and the radish and radish greens. We have some apple stick chews for rabbits and other rodents. Pumpkins, squash, tomatoes, and there's all of our extra stock. So market day was pretty good for us. We were able to sell probably about 30, 40 plants and sold a package of ground a couple packages of coffee, and just a great time. So we're really looking forward to be participating in this farmers market as the season goes on. We're going to be doing it every other Saturday from now on. But today our focus is going to be on getting some tomatoes in the garden. As you saw in some of our previous videos, I planted a lot of different unique varieties this year. And, with the greenhouse, we were able to get a lot going, but now it's time to get them in the ground. So here I'm going to show you the process of what we're doing to get our tomatoes in the ground this year. So we're using that same S-curve trellis that we put up last year with the help of the boys. If you're curious about that, check out this video here. And I've already got my tomatoes laid out. I've already got a couple in the ground. So far, we've got 2 of the Brad's Atomic Grape over here, and we have 2 of the Bumblebee Purple Cherry over here. Now, one thing I really love about this S-curve is because I have a post every other tomato, I can shove my plant tags right in the post right here. So I can shove that plant tag in there, and I'll be able to identify this plant for the rest of the summer, even if it grows above the trellis and gets all bushy. So the benefit of having the plant tag up here as opposed to down here is that I will be able to identify this plant all year long. Otherwise, once this plant starts to grow and get bushy, I'm going to lose any tag that might be down there by the plant. We've got all of the plants already laid out in the S-curve. The other things that I have is a bucket of rabbit manure. I'm just going to throw about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup in each hole. This is just going to give all of my tomato plants a quick nitrogen burst that they're going to need in order to keep from getting very wilty and sad looking. In dealing with transplant shocks, a little bit of extra nitrogen boost is just going to really help there. And the other thing that I'm going to throw in here, pardon the wind. Where'd it go? Hold on, it's here somewhere. Gotta have it ready. I have a bag of eggshells that we are going to be throwing in the hole also to mix up with the rabbit manure for the nitrogen boost. Now, the purpose of the eggshells is to provide us some calcium. This is going to prevent that blossom end rot. I know that there are some other channels out there who recommend tossing a whole egg in. Really, it's not going to do that much more than just saving some eggshells. And saving your eggshells is pretty much a free thing if you eat eggs on a regular basis. So rather than throwing away a whole egg, just throw some eggshells in there to get that calcium you need. Get a quality organic fertilizer, whether you can get some composted manure or whether you're just looking at some pelletized fertilizer off the shelf at a big box store. If it's an organic fertilizer, you're not going to have to worry about introducing those chemicals into your garden or introducing anything that you're going to regret later. Okay, so let me show you our process for getting the tomatoes in the ground. All right, so the process for us is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to make a hole. I mean, just like basic planting for tomatoes, but we do a deep mulch method in order to help prevent weeds here in the garden. So we're gonna go ahead and scrape back that mulch a little bit. Okay, now, man's best friend. Yeah, Little Caesar's pizza box. Comes in really handy here in the garden. It's just a good size for as I'm going along here. Hey, no judging, all right? We're gonna go ahead and dig down almost the full length of this trowel, okay? We're gonna be planting these tomatoes about a third to a half deep so that we can get all of this area will become rootstock to grow out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that hole dug, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so we got the hole dug. We are about the depth of this garden trowel and about twice the diameter of the cup here. So take my tag here. These are some San Marzano sauce tomatoes. Just gonna stick the tag up here on the post. Now before we put these in the ground, we're just gonna pinch off these bottom leaves because they're not gonna do the plant any good since they're gonna be underground. All right? We're gonna put about a half a cup of rabbit manure in here. Just gonna dump that in. A little sprinkling of eggshells. I'm also gonna put a little in the mulch around the outside. Just help give that, get some of that calcium. You wanna make sure that you pulverize them a little bit as you put them in. All right, give that a quick stir. Okay, we're just gonna tip over the pot, give it a smack. Now these got huge in the greenhouse, and we do have a little bit of root binding going on here at the bottom. So we have on our trowel, we've got a ridged edge on that garden trowel. And I'm just going to score these roots on all four sides here. All right. Now this does not hurt the plant; it will still grow just fine. And then I'm just going to pull these roots, and I'm going to flatten that base a little bit. So I'm increasing the surface area of those roots on the bottom of the root ball there. And we're going to set that right down in the hole. And as you can see, we are right to the bottom of these leaves right here. Okay, and then we're just going to take the pizza box and dump that soil back in. We're not going to tamp it down. We're not going to tamp this down too hard, right? We're going to want to let this naturally settle, and also it'll give some pockets for those roots to grow out. Last step here is to add a little water just to help. Water will just help the plant get over that little bit of shock, and then we're going to go ahead and push the wood chips back around without touching the plant itself. We want to kind of create a little cup here, so that way as it rains over the next couple days here, that water will settle down in there. All right, and that's about how we do it. I'm going to go ahead and go down the line here and get the rest of these in the ground. Come back to you when I'm done. All right, so we've got one row completed on the S curve here, and these are just some of the varieties that we've got. We've got the Brad's Atomic Grape. Looking forward to see how those turn out. I know there's been some questions on the internet is aflame with whether or not they're good or bad to eat, but I can't wait. I hear they're decent, and if nothing else, it's going to look really cool in a salad. We've got 4 San Marzano plants. And really excited to get these in the ground. Want to be able to make some more tomato sauce this year. Maybe even try our hand at some ketchup. And then my favorite variety is here on the end. These are the pink brandy wines. Man, I just love these things. They make such excellent tomato sandwiches, and they made pretty good tomato sauce last year too. So this row's all set. I've got the other side here. We got like I said, the purple bumblebee cherry. Then we're going to come down to the jujube grapes, the purple Russians, and finally the pineapples, the other big slicing tomatoes I'm looking forward to having this summer on a tomato sandwich. And well, that's about it for today. Hope you found this informative. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other updates here at the Homestead. And until next time, God bless. Oh, so much more to do.